At JK Moving Services, we recognize the sacrifices that veterans and their families have made throughout the history of our nation. That's why on Veterans Day, we take a moment to recognize our military's continued service since the founding of our country.
I just like to sit back and say, look at all the people of this great nation that gave up something for someone else. I did put the uniform on, but if we look at history, our conflicts are supported by the entire country.
I had two uncles actually that served. One was in the Navy, one was in the Army. My Army uncle died in Vietnam, so I get to honor him. And then he inspired me to also join the Marine Corps.
It was an honor of a lifetime to wear the uniform of our nation in the U.S. Army. Being a soldier is something that will always have a positive impact on me and my life. On Veterans Day, I look back on my service with pride and remember all of the great people whom I've served alongside. It's important to recognize all military veterans throughout history and their families for their service to our nation.
November 11th is a reflection and remembrance day for me. It is a remembrance of the people that sacrificed for the ideologies of the United States as well as the protection of the United States.
It's sometimes awkward to have people say, oh, hey, thanks for your service. Because I'm thankful that I got to serve, got to go overseas and see some of the different countries and different cultures. To me, it was a blessing. So getting those thanks is great and I always appreciate it, but I thank those that allowed me to serve in the military.
One of my colleagues here, Ray, was actually in a Marine Corps recruiting commercial, and that was the recruiting commercial that was being used when I was first coming into the Marine Corps. So I remember him as a drill instructor in that video, and it was one of the main things that I remember when I was coming into the Marine Corps. So it really is fascinating how it all comes full circle.
And when you go down to DC, you got your Marine Corps gear on, the shirt or whatever. It's always a high five or congratulations or a head tip to say, hey, thank you.
On Veterans Day, actually, I think less about myself and my service, and I think about the other people that I served with and served alongside. I also think about my family members. My dad is a veteran, my sister is a veteran. I've got a lot of veterans on both sides of my family.
Typically, me and my wife will go to the Pentagon Memorial, then to Arlington Cemetery, really to reflect on those that have given the ultimate sacrifice for the country.
What I do is sit back and remember and reflect on what our men and women have done for us, all of us, as not only just as Americans, but as what have they done for humanity across the globe.
I always make it a point to reach out to some of my old friends and people that I served with to just say hello and check in and see how they're doing and say Happy Veterans Day, because less than 1% of the American population at any given time wear the uniform, and so it's important to remember that as we go through the year.
That's basically what I sit back and do, is think about what my grandfather did, what my niece is doing now, and what just ordinary Americans are doing.
That's the way I like to celebrate Veterans Days, is paying homage to those that have sacrificed their lives for our country, so we can stand for the flag, or we can kneel for the flag, or we can do whatever we want in this country as is laid by the foundation of those that sacrificed for our freedoms.
Because you always hear all the stories from the family saying, hey, this was your uncle, he did such and such and so and so. But he did a lot of good things, and it just made me want to be like that. And it inspired me to, like I said, join the service, spend my 20 years. I mean, it wasn't easy, especially Marine Corps. Nothing's ever easy, but you gotta take the challenges and keep going.
This Veterans Day, we thank the veterans who work at JK Moving Services, their families, and all military veterans past and present who have answered the call to serve.